Download this code and get free GPT-4o from codegive.com, link in the description below. Sure. Here is an informative tutorial on how to generate Python documentation using docfx. Docfx is an open-source documentation generation tool for .NET and other programming languages like Python. It can generate documentation in various formats such as HTML, PDF, and ebook. Docfx uses markdown files to write documentation and can extract code snippets from source code files to include in the documentation. To generate Python documentation using docfx, you can follow these steps. Step 1. Install docfx. You can install docfx using the following command in your terminal. Step 2. Create a docfx project. Create a new folder for your documentation project and navigate into it. Then, run the following command to initialize a new docfx project. Step 3. Configure docfx project. Edit the docfx.json file in your project folder to configure the documentation generation settings. You can specify the input files, output location, and other settings in this file. Step 4. Write documentation. Write your Python documentation in markdown files inside the docs folder of your project. You can use markdown syntax to format the documentation and include code snippets. Step 5. Generate documentation. Run the following command to generate the documentation. Step 6. View the generated documentation. After the generation process is completed, you can find the generated documentation in the _site folder of your project. Open the index.html file in a web browser to view the documentation. Here is an example of how you can write a Python documentation using docfx. Bash. Pip install my Python library. Python. From my_python_library import utils. Hashtag create a list. My_list equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hashtag calculate the sum of the list. Total equals utils.calculate_sum, my_list. Print, total. By following these steps, you can generate Python documentation using docfx and create a professional-looking documentation for your Python projects.